So this is a little feature I'm going to start doing now. I'm going to start talking about unique characters across Great Britain. Every town has one. And this gentleman was a guy named, I think people just knew him as Rudy. Sadly passed 2018. And I dare say the very plush town of Harrogate has never been the same. Arguably, probably their most known kind of face, if you like. So I saw him a few times over the years. I've spent a bit of time in Harrogate working there, and you couldn't miss him. And I think most people, particularly the local residents of Harrogate, will remember him. That every time I ever saw him, he was sat in the town, looking up to the sky and shouting, "I'm going to make it rain now." There's a lot of stories, and some of them are probably, kind of mythical. They're all forever embedded into Harrogate folklore. I'm not sure what the real story was of Rudy. Some say he grew up and killed his parents. There's a lot of them, probably far-fetched now looking back. But he was a guy. He was very what's the word without being offending him? Unique. He would stand there and he'd even be singing. Like a karaoke machine. Bob Marley was always his favourite. I'm not even sure whether he was a drinker or nothing. A lot of people would have saw him as the local oddball. Tattoo on his head and I think probably he was a guy who suffered mental health issues. To the extent I'm not sure, but I'm going to hashtag this video in Harrogate, and as I said, everyone from Harrogate will know this guy. As I said, every town has one. Before Paul Sykes was, obviously when he was the tough guy, but after that, he was kind of Wakefield's version of Harrogate, if you like. He was the local down and out, sat there, talking to himself, talking to the pigeons, drinking. I'm not even sure whether Rudy drank or not. Every time I ever saw him, he was just kind of sat there talking to God, literally up in the air and dancing and just basically making not a nuisance of himself, but he was like, if you saw him, you saw him. Do you know what I mean? Some of the pictures there. There's absolutely loads on it if you just Google Rudy Harrogate. And as I said, the little town of Harrogate will be a far more colourful place without his presence. I don't think there's ever probably been a character like him. Certainly in the town of Harrogate. But let us know your comments below. I personally would like to learn more about him. I've seen him, probably a handful of times in my life. So I knew firsthand of how much he stood out. But obviously I'm not from Harrogate, and I imagine a lot of you people who are will probably know a lot more and could fill me in on the actual story rather than, the things that just kind of gets bandied about and it's not true, but, it's a lot of things that will end up in folklore. It's hearsay, isn't it? So Rudy Harrogate, he is an unforgettable, totally true one-off, totally unforgettable character. Please comment below and educate me on the guy. Totally unforgettable, and as I said, it's a lesser colourful place without old Rudy there.